Hi everyone, how are we? My name is Hannah, and I am the fantastic face behind those amazing, hilarious AI shorts that you were watching around Christmas. Yeah, it was all me. I'm the culprit. But yeah, Breathe, Rest, Reset, the name of this channel, is really about trying to be as healthy as you can in 2025, trying to survive between whether it's work and life, whether it's school, college, uni, and life, just the entirety of life. It's about surviving, really, and I'll be sharing tips, tricks, things that I've learned to better my health, and hopefully it will better yours, and hopefully you don't fall into the pit holes that I fell into, which were quite detrimental to my health. So hope it helps. But anyway, this video is to do with Love Your Liver Month. Love Your Liver Month! Yeah! And this month is very it's important to me because I had a bit of trouble with my liver, a bit of trouble, quite a lot of trouble with my liver in 2023. I could have died. That's the reality of it. But I'm alive and I'm kicking. I thank the Lord. So, without further ado, oh my gosh, I thought it was a bogey. Without further ado, let's get into it. For those that do not know, your liver is one of the biggest organs in your body. Very important, just like the rest of the organs. But the job of the liver is to detoxify the body. It decides what to do with protein, carbohydrates, fats. It decides where it goes, how it processes it all. It helps with a ton of things. Very important. Put it this way, you can't live without a liver. Simple as live, liver. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is what happened to my liver, the early signs and symptoms of liver disease. Now, you may not experience this, but I'm just going to share what I experienced, and really how you can look after your liver and try to avoid what I went through, really. So let's do it. January 2023. I decided I was going to go on a thick diet. What do I mean by thick diet? Really bulking. I just decided I wanted to get thick. I'm 5'11", and at the time I was a strong size 8. I've always been underweight. My BMI is always ranged. It's always ranged at around 19. That's just the way it was for me. It isn't now. But I decided to bulk, so I was eating a lot more food. And one day in January, I think it's probably the second week into January, I had a meal and I felt really full, and the feeling of fullness never went away. Now, you could say I lost my appetite, but those words don't kind of do it justice to how I felt. I literally felt full. Imagine you have a big plate of food and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't eat a single thing. That's how I felt. Like my brain was telling me, Hannah, your stomach is full. Even to the point where I felt a bit uncomfortable. So that was the first thing that made me think, something strange is going on. And then I would say probably 2 days after, I woke up in the middle of the night and I had reflux. So I could literally feel fizzing in my throat. And that was really weird. I've never experienced that in my life. I know it can be quite a general symptom. A lot of people have reflux or heartburn. But for me, that's rare. I've never experienced that. So I went to the GP. I was prescribed omeprazole and I started taking omeprazole. Nothing really changed. What I did find was that I could no longer lie flat because it wasn't just the fizzing I was experiencing. I was starting to experience chest pain. Not in the type of chest pain where you'd think, oh my gosh, heart attack or angina. Like pain in the center of my chest. Just a, yeah, very It was a big discomfort. It was very uncomfortable. It was painful, and I had to kind of sleep propped up. I continued taking the omeprazole, plodding along. Um, During this time, I was extremely tired, but that wasn't anything that I would have described as abnormal because, for one, I was working full time. I was 4 months into a new job at the hospital. Two, I'm a single parent. I carry the majority of parenting. And three, I was in ministry at the time, so I was very busy. Monday to Friday, I'm full time working. I don't have much time carved for myself. I'm always doing something. So I was always tired. I just accepted that that was kind of my portion in life at the time. One sec, I need a drink. So, yeah, very tired. Very, very tired. Um, what I did not notice at the time, which is interesting looking back, was that I was increasing the amount of water I was drinking. So I was trying to drink maybe just a little over 2 liters of water a day. And the reason for that was because I noticed that my urine was darker than usual. But because I was so busy, when you're, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, if I'm particularly busy for a long period of time, there's certain things that I don't notice as an issue, um, because my mind is fixed on so many other things all at once. So yeah, I noticed my urine was dark. I put that down to me not drinking enough, which is why I was trying to drink 2 liters of water a day. What I failed to notice looking back was that in the space of me drinking a litre of water, where my urine should have been clear, it was still dark. And that's what I failed to notice back then. Let's proceed with the story though. So it gets to February half term, and I've booked the week off annual leave just to spend time, look after my daughter, and spend some time. So I could have got the childcare, and that's the long short of it. But anyway, during that week, we went to Pizza Hut, and I love a Pizza Hut buffet. But I still felt full. I'm taking a Meprazole, but I still feel full. And so, and so my daughter has pizza, I don't have any, but I couldn't deny Ice Cream Factory because ever since I've been a child, Ice Cream Factory has been amazing. So had a cheeky Ice Cream Factory, just a cheeky little bowl of ice cream. But then after that, we went to Tesco. And so I bumped into my friend Taps, who I trained with at uni. And so and so I'm speaking to Taps outside Tesco with my daughter. And I look up to the sky as I'm talking, and Taps turns around and says to me, "Why are your eyes yellow?" Oh my gosh, I've lost the microphone. I've lost the mic. I've lost the mic. Oh, here it is. Gosh, I'm all discombobulated. Taps asks me, "Why are your eyes yellow?" So, I don't think I've mentioned this, but I am a registered nurse, adult nurse. Many people will know if your eyes are yellow, that is not a good sign. Jaundice is not good. Just not a good sign. So when she said that to me, I literally looked at her like, care? And she said to me, I think the way I looked at her, she said, "I think I should know what I'm talking about. I am a nurse." I'm like, well, obviously I know you're a nurse because anyway. But I think it was my face of disbelief because I understood at that moment what she was saying, and I knew I hadn't been feeling very well. And now alarm bells were starting to ring in here. They were starting to go off. So I said to her, take a picture of my eyes right now. Take a picture now. So she took a picture, and I could see she took a picture of my eyes and she took a picture of my daughter's eyes. And we were trying to do a comparison outside of Tesco's to see how yellow my eyes were in comparison to my daughter's. And I could see a little bit, but it didn't look alarming to me. It didn't make me think, Hannah, drive to A&E now. It didn't make me, I didn't see it as that yellow. Anyway, I said to her, thank you, I'm going to call the GP, get a blood test, whatnot, and go from there. So from there, I think it was the next day, Friday, because I think that was a Thursday. So on the Friday, I met with my sister, and I said to her about what Taps had said to me about my yellow eyes. And she looked at me and she said, they do look a bit yellow. And I was like, oh, it's not what I wanted to hear. And so she took a picture of me. And that picture, for some reason, I can't recall her showing me. If she did show me, then for some reason, again, in my eyes, it didn't seem that yellow. And I don't know if I was in a state of denial, but it's really weird looking back, because looking back now, they were horrifically yellow. Like, for me personally, I would say they were yellow and I should have really went to A&E. But at the time, I could not notice it. And maybe it was because I look at myself every day in the mirror and I just didn't notice the gradual increase of yellowing in my eyes because I look at myself every day. Maybe it was that. Who knows? But anyway, let's continue. So the weekend comes, I see the GP. I do not get my bloods taken straight away. I go back to work on the Monday. So I work at a hospital at the time. So I got my bloods taken there. And that was early, that was in the morning. So that was probably around 9 o'clock. I had my bloods taken, got it to the lab and continued with work. It got to 4:15, which is the time that I finished work there. And my phone is on work mode. So it doesn't vibrate. It doesn't ring out. If I have a phone call, the screen will just flash. But my phone was in my coat pocket, so I couldn't have had access to my phone. So it gets to 4:15, and I get my coat on. I'm like, all right, bye guys, bye. Put my hand in my coat pocket, take it out, and it has my GP surgery calling. Now, talk about divine timing, because there was no way I could have known my phone was ringing. I take it out, my GP is calling on my phone. Well, that was my sign. That told me enough. I knew enough at that moment in time. What am I trying to say? That phone call. What am I trying to say right now? So when I seen the GP calling me, I knew that it was not good news. Put it that way. And so when I answered the call, GP informed me that my liver function test results were deranged. Yeah, it's not what you really want to hear. And specifically, it was my bilirubin and my ALT. Oh, I cannot even remember how to say the whole name, but ALT. And the ALT, I think, was that ALP raised? It probably would have been. But the ALT was deranged. And he said to me, I'm just trying to arrange for you to be seen at the assessment unit. Where are you? I was like, I'm at work. He was like, where do you work? I was like, at the hospital. He was like, don't leave the hospital. And I'm like, but I need to pick up my child from after school club. I have half an hour to walk to get her. I didn't tell him that, but in my brain, I'm like, I gotta get my child. So I don't leave the hospital. I tell one of my colleagues, and she was just like, what the heck? I then tell my boss, who chuckles and says, we might be bringing you grapes at your bedside tomorrow. She's hilarious. She's great. And then I go downstairs and I go outside the hospital because reception is not that great in the hospital. So anyway, I go outside. I need the fresh air anyway because I'm just like, what on earth is happening to me? And I phone my sister and I ask her, can you please pick up my daughter because I will possibly be admitted to hospital today. She's like, what? What's going on? What do you mean? And I'm like, I know. It's all crazy. It's all mad right now. But this is the situation. Anyway, as soon as I get off the phone to my sister, I receive a text message from the GP telling me to go to an assessment unit. I thank the Lord because I dodged A&E, swerved it, dodged that bullet. Ugh. And so, yeah, I was at the assessment unit basically until about 2 a.m. No, I stayed there overnight, but it was a long night, put it that way. It was just a long night. But anyway, my ALT was at the time nearly 700, I believe, and it's supposed to be below 35, but above 10, I think. That could be entirely wrong, but you can always check it on an NHS website for yourself. And my bilirubin was 77. So, bilirubin. If you see someone with yellow eyes, that could be, yeah, if they're jaundice, the yellow is bilirubin, and that's because it's not being broken down in the body properly because the liver can't do its job properly, or there's something blocking, causing a block between the liver and the gallbladder, or something going on in the gallbladder, something going on gastro-wise. So it's never good. And so, see, I'm black. You can't see it in my skin because I'm dark skinned. But if I was lighter skinned, I would have looked like a Oompa Loompa, basically. So in a way, it makes me think if I was lighter skinned, I may have noticed that there was a problem earlier on. Because another reason, when I spoke to the registrar on my admission to hospital, he explained to me that my eyes did not typically look yellow because I was always outside, and vitamin D breaks down bilirubin. So the only way he really knew how yellow my eyes were was by asking me to pull my eyelid up. So he asked me to do this and then look up. And then he asked me to look down, and then he was like, ooh. And then when he was like, ooh, I realized they looked a lot more yellow than what everyone could see of my eyeballs now. So that was kind of my journey, my admission. It was an emergency admission, and the registrar said to me, you're not going home because you may what were the words? he put it so gently. It was really nice. He said, you're going to be admitted because we can't risk you going home just in case you really need help. And that told me enough that this situation wasn't good. And so I needed to stay in hospital just in case the poo hit the fan in a way where I could die. Basically. So, yeah, that was admission to hospital. I was in hospital for just under a month. think it was like 3 weeks, 3 days, or 3 weeks, 4 days, something like that. But I'm alive today, and I give thanks to God because I could be dead. I could be gone. You wouldn't be getting this video. You wouldn't have got all those amazing Christmas YouTube shorts. Do you know what I mean? We've all got to give thanks. Um, so far, the key highlights are recognizing really when you don't feel yourself, and even though the symptoms might be quite menial, might be quite small, or seem quite common, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's common for you. If you have symptoms that are outside of the norm, get to the GP, sort yourself out. Don't sit on it. Come on, there's only one of you, and we need that one of you in this world. You're important and you're loved. So that's the first takeaway. There's probably some more takeaways, so let's continue the story. I had different investigations during my time there, and because of the inflammation of my liver, my gallbladder and my spleen were also inflamed. Appetite did not come back. I was losing weight because I didn't want to eat because I wasn't hungry. I was full. So I was started on some 40 compacts, and even the thought of those, to drink those, made me feel full, which is really weird, but it's probably because it's packed with protein. What else? Yeah, so that's when I stopped going outside, that's when I started to see my eye colour change. And that was pretty scary. I think it took about 2 days, and then it looked like my eyes were orange. Like the yellowness is actually quite alarming. And then I started to notice that my urine would go even dark. It went even darker to the point it was almost just like orange. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that I could really compare it to, but it was like dark orange, which was horrible. When if you have a heart attack, you may get chest pain. If you're having an asthma attack, it's hard to breathe. You know, there's something connected to it to alarm you. Whereas with your liver, you could go so long and your liver is having problems and you would never know until jaundice or until something really bad happens. And so you to see me, you'd probably think I'm perfectly fine. Like, it was really quite funny because some of the nurses would be like, Hannah, why are you still here? You're fine. You need to go. Because I'm up, not all the time, but I'm up, I'm talking, I'm walking. I'll go downstairs, go for a walk just to breathe, walk in the hospital, just to have a breather. But I didn't, apart from my eyes looking really yellow, you would not have thought that there was anything wrong with me. Further symptoms that developed in the hospital, though, was pain around the liver area, pain right here, which was really like an achy kind of throbbing-ish pain, which wasn't nice. I felt more tired now, so I would sleep in the night and then I'd probably sleep maybe 2 to 3 hours in the day, and I needed to sleep. Like, I needed it. I was very tired. People started to drain me, so you could talk to me, and it's like I can't keep up. I'm just like, okay, and now I'm like, I need to sleep because this is too much. This is too much. I just need a break. So yeah, I could probably say I wasn't as sociable um as I probably wanted to be. This is a bit of a gross one, but we're gonna go there. My poo started to turn colour, as in it was starting to turn white. That was weird. Um, Literally, it was getting lighter, and then it started to look like a real pale kind of. Yeah, it just started to resemble more white poo, and I knew that was a sign that the inflammation was getting worse. And it was quite difficult because doctors were still trying to figure out what was wrong and what was causing the inflammation. Um, and so I'd already been vaccinated against hepatitis B, so I knew it wasn't that. They'd done blood tests to see if it is Hep C. Well, I knew it wouldn't be because I haven't ticked any of those red flags in my life for me to have contracted Hep C. So I knew it wasn't that. But they have to do their tests. So I knew it wasn't viral hepatitis that I had. Um, they were trying to work out if it was caused by any supplements that I was taking, because I did start to take a supplement. Cannot remember what it's called now, but it was from Holland and Barrett. So they were wondering if I had taken supplements that had knocked my liver off a bit. Well, not knocked it off. It's not the right term, but had caused the inflammation. What else did they think it could be? They asked me if I did, like, if I have what my history and my relationship with alcohol was. While I didn't drink, if it was a celebration, I'd have, like champagne, way. But I'm not a drinker, so I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't down to alcohol. So they were really kind of trying to work out what it was, and after various tests, they did find out what it was that caused the liver disease. And so I am on treatment for that now. And I like people will say, "Oh, you've got that love for life, blah blah blah." Well, I mean, the evidence may be there to an extent to say that this condition is lifelong. But in here and spiritually wise, I will not accept it. And people might say, Hannah, are you stupid? Why would you not accept? I'm not stupid enough not to take medication. Obviously, I'm taking my medication. But I am a firm believer that your mind is a powerful thing, and your faith and what you believe in can steer your path of life. And so, in anything, any affliction, any illness, my mind is always on healing and health. Full stop. So, yeah, I might be dealing with something, but that is not my identity. I don't wear that cloak. No, the only cloak that I'm going to wear in a battle for my health is the cloak of healing and my faith in Jesus Christ. That is the be all and the end all of that. And if you don't like it, you can lump it. So, anyway, the diagnosis that they gave me, excuse me, the diagnosis is of an autoimmune condition, and that I'd have to take the medication because I'd have to take it. And that's kind of where it stands. And it's been nearly 2 years since I started to get into a bit of difficulty. But I'm alive and kicking today. And my body is well. I go to the gym, I work out, still trying to work on sleep. That is touch and go, but I don't know if that's partly because of the medication I'm on. Who knows? But prescription wise, the good old prednisolone. And then they try to get you onto a immunosuppressant. So, yeah, so far so good. I'm all right. I am all right. But this video really is to give you awareness that, looking after your liver is massively important. My lifestyle before this happened was not great. My diet was heavily processed. My meals were mainly cooked from frozens. I would do chicken, but a lot of the food that I was eating was probably quite inflammatory food for me. I didn't do organic food or anything like that. My mom would say, "You're on a beige food diet. Eat real food." What does she mean by beige food diet? Well, a beige food diet is bread, crackers, cakes. What else in the beige food diet? I love you, mom. Donuts. Well, wraps. Basically, heavily carbed diet, full of sugar. And yeah, that was basically my diet. I was a snacker. Got that from her. Love you, mom. I was a heavy snacker. Snacked an awful lot. And so yeah, my diet wasn't good. I wasn't sleeping well. I probably had about 5 hours of sleep, 5 to 6 hours of sleep a day. Well, that's not very good. When does my body have time to rest and repair? Not much time at all. I was running on stress. Still, even like mentally, I'll probably say there was some anxiety there. Still trying to get over past traumas. So mentally speaking, I presented fine, like very happy, jovial, but my brain was still dealing with a lot. So a lot of markers here: stress, diet, not getting much sleep, trauma. There's a lot of things going on here which are not great. And we know that if you are experiencing quite a few of these things, they can contribute to disease. So don't fall into the pit holes I fell into. Be better. Be better than me. You can do it. What else is there to take away from this? How important your liver is. Massively important. I didn't know that liver inflammation could cause inflammation in my spleen and gallbladder. What the heck? I didn't know that. That was news to me. I didn't know that it could change like my liver. I didn't know that liver inflammation could make my poo white, make my urine dark. It's a scary thing to see, to be fit as a fiddle, because I never had any major health problems. But it's scary to be fit as a fiddle and then start to see the signs of your body struggling. That is scary. And I mean, it was unfortunate for me to go through what I went through. It is what it is. But prevention is always better than cure. So it's just really to give you the tools to look after your liver. If you like to drink, reduce the amount of drink. Just don't drink as much and then try to reduce it a bit more. If you like a lot of fatty food, just kind of bring it in a bit. Like, just reduce it, Add some salad in there somewhere. If you drink fizzy pop all the time, how about drop a bottle and have a bottle of water? These small steps are steps in the right direction for change. And these small steps could prevent a heart attack. It could prevent liver disease. It could prevent diabetes years on. But we don't always think about the future, do we? We live for today. And especially in the world living in 2025, I mean, there's a lot going on that's very concerning. So I say all of this to say, look after yourself. And in this month of January, please try and look after your liver. If you haven't been, I mean, if you have, great. But be careful and be mindful. Because it's always better to look after something and maintain it than to fix it when it's broken, especially when it comes to you. So for the rest of the month, I will be making some more amazing videos. Maybe AI videos. because that's my forte. But yeah, I'll be making some more amazing videos on your liver and just encouraging you to be aware of how amazing that organ is. Right there. Where's your liver? Everyone tap it. Right there. Yeah, and just to encourage you to spread the information about the importance of your liver and why you should look after it, because you really need it. And to those of you out there that are experiencing liver disease, chronic liver disease, acute liver disease, stay strong, stay positive. There is goodness from this. Don't think you're going to die, even if the situation doesn't look good. Just really try to keep your spirits up. Look up. Don't look down. Look up. The answer's up there. It's not down here. Look up. And don't give up. Fight. Fight for dear life. Because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. Anyway. I think I've covered everything. I really hope I have. If I have not, I'll make another video. And I will give you the information. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment, let me know. But yeah, this is really the video on how I could have died in 2023, but I am alive, thanks to God's grace. Boom, booyah. And yeah, have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your evening, rest of your night. And stay tuned. If this was helpful to you, please like and subscribe for more amazing content, because it's coming. I'm in the kitchen cooking. It's getting prepared. Just be patient. But yeah. All right. Take care. Okay, bye.